With billions of people confined to their homes during lockdowns, access to electricity has been essential. That's particularly the case in off-grid areas. Now, experts say the pandemic has also highlighted the need to focus on other aspects of energy to ensure better resilience. And the topic has been under discussion at the virtual Asia Clean Energy Forum. And for more, we are joined by Damilola Ogunbiyi, Special Representative of the UN Secretary General for Sustainable Energy for All. Thank you so much, Ms. Ogunbiyi, for joining us. First, how unequal is access to energy? And also, how has the pandemic highlighted this?
Well, thank you for having me. Access to energy, as we know, has always been unequal. According to the recent tracking reports, we still have 789 million people without access to electricity and 2.8 billion without access to clean cooking. But what has happened during the pandemic, to highlight it even more, is that when people don't have access to electricity or clean cooking, it's very hard for you to say stay at home. It's also important to highlight the role of healthcare, and it's also shown the inefficiencies of the healthcare system, which we also believe can be powered by sustainable power supplies. However, not everything is doom and gloom or loss. We feel that this pandemic just highlights the reason why countries need to recover better, basically, and use it with sustainable energy as well. So we are providing recover better guidance for sustainable energy in terms of how you can recover in terms of jobs, how your healthcare can recover, and also additional GDP. So those were one of the key benefits that we feel that this pandemic has highlighted. Countries now really realize that sustainable energy is not just important for powering their own people, but more importantly, it's also important for them to recover better.
And with that in mind, then, what do you see as sort of the main obstacles affecting access to energy, especially for people in more rural areas?
I mean, for people in more rural areas, it's twofold. The first is actually getting supply to them has obviously been restricted because of the pandemic. The other side of it is the fact that, getting the right type of healthcare to them as well. But we feel that this is where, decentralized energy solutions really play a key part, especially in developing countries in Asia and in Africa. The use of solar home systems and mini grids is really, really key for this market. But also being able to support the developers right now, because from the data and the survey we did, we've realized that even off-grid companies face a very dire situation with people only having 2 months left of working capital and not getting, obviously, the payments that they typically got from the vulnerable customers that actually paid because they're not working. It's also important to highlight that, still, it's only about 1.2% of all the amount of money spent globally on energy actually still goes to clean cooking. So there's a lot of dimensions that we have to look at now based on the rural areas and how to get support to them, but also how to finance sustainable projects within those areas.
Indeed. So what help can be offered? So how can the situation be relieved for the people most affected by this?
I think the key thing is to take it as a country or a subnational level. It's very important, the data now. We're really, really encouraging governments to really address this issue and say, what does your integrated energy maps and plans actually look like? So once that is identified, it's easier to dimension how to get the type of support and finances to these countries. And it just can't be seen as an electricity problem. Clean cooking also plays a very, very critical role. And we're trying to kind of turn around the conversation and say, you should be doing this for your citizens anyway, but this is actually one of the fastest ways with every dollar spent on energy accounting for almost 0.93 cents for you to get additional GDP. And it's also a way to create not just green jobs, also gender-based jobs as well.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective with us. We've been speaking with Damilola Ogunbiyi, Special Representative of the UN Secretary General for Sustainable Energy for All.